I'm Amanda.
And I'm Charles.
This is the Capital Runway Podcast.
Hey everyone, this is Charles Wilson from the Capital Runway Podcast. My co-host, Amanda, this week is in Japan visiting her parents. So we're going to miss her. But today we're lucky to have the gentleman who's normally behind the scenes with us, Ryan.
Hey everyone. Yep, this is Ryan Burdick. So I'm MWA's multimedia specialist. So you probably have seen a lot of my video work at DOLIS or at DCA if you've ever seen any of our plane videos or event videos. But today I'm very grateful to be filling in for Amanda and getting to talk to you, Charles.
Ryan does a great job of making us all look and sound good. So it's great to see him up front this time.
Yeah. And to my understanding, Amanda's in Japan on spring break.
Yes.
Finally going on a trip she's wanted to go on for years.
Yes.
So how was your spring break?
Mine wasn't as fun as hers. I was stuck in the house with my two kids. So I was on daddy duty for a good week. So I'm glad to be out of the house and back at work.
That's true. And it does feel like in the DC area, spring has sprung and the weather's finally nice. And there's just been so much to look forward to.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on in the city and there's a lot going on at the airports as well. As you know, this week is Small Business Week. So we have a lot going on to continue to engage the small business community and regarding procurement opportunities available at the airport. So we've got a couple of events coming up that we're really excited about.
That's true. And I think on today's podcast, we have an interview we did with two contracting officers for MWA. And so if you are a small business looking to work with the airport, this will be a good episode for you to get the resources and knowledge and pro tips about how you can become one of the partners with the airports.
Yep. We're always looking for more small businesses to participate in procurement opportunities at the airport. So we'd love to have you. Yeah, no, we're excited that we have Ms. Julia Hodge and Cedric Kinlow from the Office of Contracts and Procurement. They will talk to us today about the airport's support of the small business community. Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So why don't we get started? Why don't you tell us kind of what the role of the Office of Supply Chain Management plays in making sure our airports run smoothly?
Well, first of all, we're delighted to be here, so thank you for inviting us to the podcast. My name is Julia Hodge, and I'm the Vice President for the Office of Supply Chain Management here at the Airports Authority. The Office of Supply Chain Management has the unique opportunity to basically procure everything that makes our airports tick. And that includes, everything from operations, so custodial contracts and landscaping services, anything that helps with our concessions program to deliver an awesome experience to the traveling public. And, it runs the gamut to the goods and services that the rest of the Airports Authority needs. So from an HR perspective or a legal perspective, any of the contracts that are required to help support our operations, whether they be corporate or they be public facing, it all runs through supply chain management. And we're really happy to be a part in helping the rest of the organization get what they need to be successful.
Good afternoon. My name is Cedric Kinlow. I am the Simplified Acquisition, Supply Chain Technology, and Compliance Director, or simply put, a director in the Office of Supply Chain Management.
We're kind of like the glue behind everything. We keep it together whether people realize that we're helping to keep it together. So you can't perform at the Airports Authority without supply chain. You can't get the things that you need adequately, quickly, quality services or products without supply chain. And we also help to define exactly what our customers are looking for the benefit of the Airports Authority.
So got another question. I keep hearing about this small local business enterprise certification. How would somebody get such a certification and what are the benefits?
Well, first, let me tell you about the program.
Okay.
To be in the program, you must be a small local business or a small business as per the SBA guidelines. You must be for-profit, and we have a geographical preference, so you must be within 100 miles of the 0-mile marker located in D.C. Our program is race and gender neutral, so it allows for more small businesses to participate.
Well, why should a small business become certified with the airport? Like, what's the purpose of it?
So the purpose is that the Airports Authority, we have two different small business programs. Mm-hmm. One is federally funded and one isn't federally funded. So specifically, the non-federally funded program is a SLBE or Small Local Business Enterprise program. Sometimes we have what we call a requirement or a goal on our solicitations or requirements that our customers bring forward. Some of the requirements that we have, we put in what we call a sheltered market. The sheltered market is a small business set aside specifically for any small business that meets our requirements as a SLBE. And only those companies can compete on those goods or those services that are set aside as a SLBE.
So what you're saying is, in order for me to do work with the Airports Authority, I have to be certified with you guys?
Nope.
Okay.
What we're saying is that there are extra opportunities if you are.
Okay.
And so our opportunities are open to all. And we encourage the participation of our certified firms in all of our contracting opportunities. We require certain participation levels by those certified firms. And so if you're a prime contractor, you may have a subcontracting requirement, which essentially means that they will have to pair up with a firm that is certified by the Airports Authority as a small local business enterprise. So what it means for those small businesses is that there's extra opportunity because the authority has gone through a deliberate process to say this is the policy for the organization. We care about putting our money back into the local economy. We care about giving those businesses the opportunity to learn and grow by performing on authority contracts. So that's really the benefit. That's the sales pitch to those small local businesses. They can learn from larger primes and grow their businesses by partnering or being a subcontractor to a prime. They can get their own opportunity in those contracting opportunities that are fully set aside for participation only by small local businesses.
Got it.
So outside of getting certified, what can small businesses do to increase their chances of getting a contract with the authority?
I love that question. I will say in my tenure as the VP, that's one of the most commonly asked questions that I receive. Because the authority has the requirements to compete on our contracts, it's really important that small businesses do their homework and understand what the contract requires for successful performance. That's everything from asking questions when the solicitation gets advertised to putting forth a technical proposal that demonstrates their capability to perform the services that we're looking for or to deliver the goods if they happen to be in that line of business. But really understanding what we're looking for betters their chances for being successful. Also, putting forth the most competitive price is going to be important as well. But, unlike in my past life in private sector, it's not really about who you know at the authority, and that's kind of a common misconception that we work through when we're at outreach events. It's not about pitching to us outside of, a technical proposal delivery. So it's really putting your best foot forward if you're a small business by demonstrating that you have the capability to do the work that we are looking to procure and that you've, given high attention to detail in what you've submitted to us and that you've put forth a really competitive offer.
Is it a cumbersome process to become a small local business enterprise?
No, it's not a cumbersome process. If you were in a federal program, you might have 24 articles or things that you have to show and prove to become certified for DBE or ACDBE. In our program, it's 10 to 11 different items, and we have reciprocity with some of the local jurisdictions, so if you're already certified with them, you can be certified with us a lot easier.
Okay.
It typically takes no more than 30 days. Usually I see within 2 weeks for a lot of firms to get certified as an SLBE.
Okay. So is this more paperwork driven? Paperwork I should already have?
Our whole program is streamlined, so then you should be able to become an SLBE. The question is going to be, are you prepared for the solicitations when they come out, and if you provide the services that we're actually looking for?
Got it. So what kind of things does the airport buy?
I'll jump in here,
Yeah.
Cedric. I will say some of the most common contracts that go to small local business enterprises include things like our office supplies contract, coffee and tea. We have a lot of firms that are certified in the construction area, and so task order contracts to do repairs at the airports, landscaping services. We have hired consultants for compensation reviews and for diversity inclusion initiatives. And so those are all contracts that have had small local business enterprise requirements on them. IT consulting services is another area where we have a lot of firms who are certified and do receive contracts from us. So we really span all of the industry codes, and the opportunities are frequently cyclical, so they do tend to come around every 3 to 5 years. And so I would encourage the firms that are interested in doing business with us to continue to keep an eye on our forecast. We're very transparent about what we buy, and to reach out to any of us about what our needs are and to better understand them before those solicitations get advertised, so that they feel well prepared to compete when the solicitations do come out.
Let me add this. The funny thing about our solicitations on our website are they're pretty similar in structure and sections on the solicitation that's on the street. So even looking at a current solicitation, it may not be something that you want to propose on, but looking at a current solicitation is an education for a contractor in itself. You can look at some of the evaluation criteria we might have, or some of the ways we might ask for the pricing to be. You understand how our formats or what we're asking for and what sections and what order. And as long as you follow those directions, the likelihood of you getting a contract goes up. So it's a good educational experience.
It's also an excellent opportunity for firms to see what the authority's standard terms and conditions are. And it's really important to understand when you're getting into a contract what you're signing up for. And I think that your idea, Cedric, for them to take a look at current active solicitations is a great one, regardless of what we happen to be buying at that point in time.
Great. So what are some of the misconceptions that local businesses might have when it comes to doing business with the authority?
I think Julia alluded to this earlier. Since we're a public, or we're quasi-government, it's something completely different than being private entity. If you're a private enterprise or private entity, it's really about strategy and strategic consulting or strategic sourcing. It's about knowing somebody. Here, when you're a public, it's all about full and open competition. So it doesn't really matter who you know at the authority. That's not really going to benefit you or help you get any business here. If anything, it might actually slow down your ability to get jobs because of the impression or the appearance. And that's what we're very sensitive to as well, about the appearance and what you can do. So the appearance of how you got the job, of how you got the business. So that's something that people don't really realize. Just because you might know this VP or the CEO or anybody else, that could preclude you from competition. So you have to be very careful of how you interact with the people at the authority, especially when a solicitation is on the street or you're looking for any kind of business.
I would also add that there's a common misconception that whoever the incumbent is, the contract is theirs, and that it's impossible to break in if you have never had an authority contract. And we spend a lot of time encouraging firms who participate in our small business university and our other outreach and educational opportunities to just keep with it, because eventually if you put forth that proposal that I was talking about earlier, the one that demonstrates your capabilities, and you give us the best pricing, to Cedric's point, it doesn't matter who you are. So the incumbent is not a lock, and I think that's a misperception or a misconception that we have worked very hard to overcome.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of answers this next question, but you might have more to add to it. So what really makes a local business successful with MWA?
At the end of the day, it's being able to perform, right? Can you meet your contractual requirements? And if you're having challenges, we will still consider you to be successful if you proactively reach out to your contracting officer and ask for relief or changes to your contract that are in the benefit of both parties. At the end of the day, I think about contracting here at the authority the same way I think about being a consumer in my private life, right? You want to buy something that you feel you're getting value for, that's good quality, and if it isn't, then you return it, exchange it. You do something to make it get to where you need to be. And in this case, it's working with the contractor who hopefully is setting the world on fire by their performance. They're doing a fantastic job meeting their contract's deliverables or providing the services that you're looking for them to provide. But in the event that they are struggling for whatever reason, that they're proactively working with the authority to get changes made to their contracts so that we can make sure that we're still being fair and upholding what this business needs to move forward.
Let me add, even if it's a set aside or a sheltered market, you should be the best at your industry or strive to be the best at your industry. You could be a minority. You can't say, oh, they're going to give it to me because I'm a minority. That doesn't mean anything. You should be the best business that happens to be a minority. And if you have that mindset, then the timing, opportunity, and preparation kind of comes together. And if you stick with it, as everybody knows, if you're a quote unquote a hustler or whatever, because you own a business, you're knocking on the doors, you're pounding the pavement, business will come your way. It just takes some time. So again, it's the intersection of timing, opportunity, and preparation and being the best that you could be.
Yeah.
So where can a small business find information about upcoming procurement opportunities?
We are super proud of how much information we put online. We have a tagline that we use when we go out and speak to small businesses. I mean, everything anybody wants to know about doing business with the authority is on our website. So MWA.com, under doing business with the authority, contacting opportunities, we post our contracting manual, we post information about our construction manual, our insurance programs, our small business programs, links to our certification portal, and ultimately our procurement forecast. And so we have a very public document there that shows the look ahead for the upcoming quarter and all of the items that we plan to advertise in that period of time. And I'm in front of our board on a quarterly basis telling them what's coming. And so if folks tune into our board meetings, they'll see that we're very transparent about the contracts that we've been awarding and the modifications and the task orders we've issued and what the forecast looks like for the upcoming quarter. Our friends like you, Charles, and diversity and inclusion, when you're out speaking at business opportunity events, I know you're sharing our forecast with small businesses. So I would encourage small local businesses to come and interact with you and your team at the events that you host. Because we really do feel like, the more information that we can share, the better off everybody is, right? Because we benefit from competition on our opportunities. We want to have an informed business community that wants to propose on our offerings. It's really in everybody's best interest.
And one more question. So earlier you mentioned a program called Small Business University. What is that all about? Is it like going to college again?
Small Business University is an initiative the authority developed several years ago where we partner with local universities to deliver formal training, at the university level in the areas of how to build your business, how to finance your business, how do you pitch and market to government buyers. And we're really thrilled that we've had a competitive application process that's specifically for our certified small local business enterprises. And we've had diverse participation from all of our surrounding jurisdictions across different industries. And we've had overwhelmingly positive feedback from the firms who have participated. And I have to say, I'm always impressed by the business owners who sign up to put themselves through an 8-week cohort of intense schooling, really, with homework assignments and mock proposals and capability statements and everything that's really hopefully geared at helping them improve their chances for future contracts, not just with the authority, but anywhere where they may be seeking them.
Great.
How often do we host Small Business University?
It's been an annual offering, and I'm really pleased to say that we kept that up during the pandemic and pivoted to virtual delivery with our partners at George Mason University at the time. We've also benefited from partnerships with Georgetown University in the past, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it Howard this year that we're going to be working with right now to launch a SBU with our current cohort. So we're very grateful to our local partners for dedicating the resources and bringing fantastic academic instructors to the table to help out with our SBU delivery.
That's awesome. When's the next one set to roll out?
The next cohort will be in September, October timeframe.
Great. So one final question, and we like to ask this of all of our guests. Where are you flying to next?
Ooh, I am heading to San Antonio, Texas. I know, isn't that exciting? I've never been.
Okay.
I've been to Texas, but not to San
Go to the
Antonio.
Alamo?
I don't know, because I feel like, the programming might be driven by the 6-year-old that I'm going to bring along with me. I'm not sure that the Alamo is going to trump the water slides at the resort, but I'm anxious to see. So, no, we're really excited. At a minimum, the Riverwalk.
Yeah. Cool.
And for me this year, I really want to finally get to Ethiopia.
Ooh.
I want to go to Addis, and I want to go to Lalabelle to see the churches in the rocks. So I'm excited if I can go. I love Ethiopian food. I love eating with my hands. So I can't wait to go.
We have that nonstop flight. Take the nonstop.
I will.
Cool.
Any parting words?
Yeah. Anything you wanted to say that you didn't get to say?
Well, I just want to thank you all for having us on the program, because any opportunity we have to continue to get the word out about our small local business enterprise program and our contracting opportunities, we appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about what we do and how passionate we are for helping our airports tick.
Cool. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Wow, that episode had a ton of good information from 2 of our contracting officer experts. So I think that we'll be giving more opportunities to small businesses in the area, and hopefully they'll be able to see some new contracts and work with our airports.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that conversation because we really gave a lot of information on how a small business out there can become certified with the airport, and to become a closer partner and take advantage of all the procurement opportunities we have available. So I'm excited about future opportunities to come.
Yeah, so make sure if you're a small business interested, go to our website and look for the next small business university opportunity that should be coming up later this year.
Yeah, it'll be in the fall, and we're going to be partnering with Howard University again. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap, Charles, it sounds like me and you are about to go grab lunch at DCA because we have some new options.
Yeah, I'm excited about Lucky Buns. I'm going to go try that out today.
That's excellent. And I know for me, I'm really excited about Half Moon empanadas.
Yes, sounds delicious.
I love my Latin American food. So I'm just like, yay, let's get that for spring.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to lunch, dinner, and everything in between.
Yeah. But if you have any comments or questions on contracts or want to know about more going on at the airport, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at info@thecapitalrunwaypodcast.com.
Yeah, we look forward to hearing from you.
And Amanda will return next month. So thank you all for listening. I was Ryan.
And I'm Charles.
And we'll see you soon.